The theory of the science of striking. Last night, you witnessed Ronda Rousey and Nunez, but what was it that you really saw? Well, that's why I'm going to break you down right now, round by round. Before I get started, my name is Eric A. Bradley, aka The Real Fight Doctor, and there is no other. On this level, and for those of you who've been following the channel, you know what it is we do. We break the fight world down, round by round. Nunez, Rousey, what was it that you saw last night? What you saw was the offensive prowess of a person that's been trained not only in the science of the world of MMA, which is mixed martial arts, but she's taken it a step further and has mastered the science of striking, at least at that level. And it's important that you guys understand that this ain't just hype talk. Whenever you step inside that ring and you lace these things up, it's serious business. And like Mike Tyson said before, this is the hurt business, and expect to get hurt. But whenever you train at the level that she's training, and you got a fighter like Ronda Rousey with the mystique, in marketing, mystique goes a long way. Like when they used to highlight fighters or those people in the world of mafia like Capone, they gave him a mystique. Let's just say Teflon Don. That's a mystique. But in fighting, man, the only time you have a mystique is before you get to that ring. But once you get to that octagon, it's all out the window. It's mano a mano. And I look at this fight and I say, what was this really about? You know, this is a business. And Dana White, you're a businessman. He came from the world of boxing. He came up around the Mike Tysons of the world out in Vegas. So he understands the mystique of being a promoter, running a billion-dollar business like Jerry Jones. Whenever you see these guys put a match on him, trust me, the minute all of you, and I'm talking to you, knew that this fight was going to happen, the first thing you thought was, is they absolutely out of their mind? Yeah, they're absolutely in the money. Dana White was sending a message to the world of UFC, MMA, Bellator, that the woman who opened the door for the sport is no longer necessary. You got the Conor McGregors, you got Cruz and those boys. It's millions of guys that are coming out fresh and new. Not to mention those who have been ducked like Cyborg. So when you think about it, that was a message. And if you saw him after the first Ronda Rousey fight, he was upset. He was sick when he lost that night. He felt UFC loss, and then he woke up for the entourage of everything that happened. It grew bigger than it had ever imagined growing. In the fight with Holly Holmes, Tyson Douglas, Ali Liston, Ali and everybody he fought that he was an underdog against, Foreman. That is the flip side of there is no such thing as bad press. It's a business, and he learned that. Now look at what happened. Yes, the beginning of the year, Conor McGregor goes in the ring and goes up against Nate Diaz, another fighter who's been trained by real coaches, real boxing coaches, and spar with real boxers. What happened? He goes in there, boom, knocks, stops, chokes out Conor McGregor. He's tapped out. What happens? It shows the character of a man. To see what happens when he's on top, then when he's on the bottom, he got right back up. A couple of months later, got his title back. That's what you gotta measure that as character. Ronda Rousey loses. She took over a year off. You cannot get in the ring and fight and go into a fight of that magnitude with a fighter that's been fighting. You hear this in the world of combat sports media, but you don't understand why. The dexterity of the bones, the face, the ligaments, the tendons, they have to be built up along with your conditioning to fight in this sport. And those of you who follow me, you already know what it is I do. And I do it at the highest level. Whenever you come into the world of striking and you don't have a real boxing coach, it's the reason why we go around doing clinics, teaching. We don't show you things. We give you educational tools. Because if you come across that ring from us and you don't have your striking game intact, you can believe one thing. You might as well bring salt and pepper with you because you're going to eat them. That's a fact. Go to my page. The world of MMA is following me. And that is one of the reasons that you see the girls like Nunez doing so well. Misha Tate could attest to this. So Ronda Rousey, when you look at it, the way she went into that ring, there was no fire, there was no flame. There was that thing that she had that has no name that she did not have when she went across that stage last night. That's the premise of we setting you up for a big payday, sending you off because your heart ain't in this game. You said you were fighting for your fans, but what fans wanted to see you get dominated? What fans really thought you could beat that girl after seeing what she did to Misha Tate and the other victims that she's had? So, I wanted to break it down and give you an insight of what it is, because the world of BJJ, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, Muay Thai, it's on the come up. 80% of these fights are stand-up now. Back in the days with Gracie, it was ground, grappling, Jiu-Jitsu. People were on the ground half of the time, sometimes the entire match. Now, Dana White's figured it out. Striking. I came from that world. That's why coaches like me, who are teachers in the sport, offer these type clinics, because these coaches, they're learning, but they have so many other elements, and it takes a brilliant mind to be able to deliver all of that stuff. So, hats off to all the coaches out there, and I know you guys know fighters. Make sure that those guys understand and know about the coaches in the game like myself, who make sure that those guys have their fighters totally prepped. Instagram is blowing up. Tons of people follow with the world of boxing from the world of combat sports, and it's a reason why. But when you see those Nate Diaz's of the world, man, it's a real thing. So hats off to the Nunez camp. Brazil's in the building. They did a hell of a job. It was a great fight. I mean, hands down, when you see a person like that, you know they coming. And guess what? The generation now, that's what it is. They are pure strikers. 80% of the game is standing up. The entire card, all you saw was hands being thrown. But understand, you gotta master the defensive prowess, the footwork, the skill sets, all of those things coming together, the ring generalship, that comes from us. These guys in this game over here, in the sport of boxing, we respect everything that they do in the world of MMA, UFC, boxing. We're all one big family, no matter how you see it. So understand, whenever you see these fighters, this is the next generation. They getting it all. And Coach Davis, which is Nunez's coach, his father was a heck of an Olympian, world class with the boys like Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. So hats off to those guys. That's the difference. Whenever you see those hands, Ronda Rousey wasn't ready to fight that fight last night. She knew it. That's why she didn't do any press. Her head was not there, and she knew she was not going to win. She wanted to go out with on her shield, but when it's said and done, she didn't belong in the ring with Nunez. So that's what I got for you guys. Continue to watch. This is The Fight Show, powered by Master Boxing, and I thank you guys for watching. This right here takes us to the next level and the next generation of fighters. The world of boxing and MMA is in a great place. UFC doing a hell of a job continuously in 16. Now we're going into 2017. My name is Eric Bradley, and I thank you guys for watching. This is Master Boxing, where we break the entire fight world down, baby. Round by round. Follow us across the board. ESPN Insider Expert here, always giving you that new, fresh, innovative teaching from the sport of mixed martial arts and boxing. So long.